Here we go. Hello.
Hello,
How are you?
I'm fine. Thank you.
It's very good. I hope you are doing well. How are you, Ashraf? Guys, how is it going?
I'm fine.
All right. Can you all hear me very well?
Yes.
Nice. Very good. How about the camera? Can you see me very well?
Yes.
Nice. Good job. Okay. So why don't say hello, great, to each other, great? Introduce each other, great, to one another. Great. You ask, introduce each other, great. Yeah. Let's start maybe with Ashraf. Introduce yourself to great. To Rayane, great, yes. In terms of your name, age, class, and that's it, great, yes.
My name is Ashraf Ougout.
First, great.
Hello, Ryan. My name is Ashraf Ougout. I'm 12 years old. I'm from Morocco. I'm in 8th grade.
8th grade, middle school. Okay, that's fine, great. Rayane again, yes?
Hello, my name is Rayane. I have 12 years old. I am in the 7th grade.
All right, I am 12 years old, great. So maybe you have the same age, great, yes. All right, very nice. I'm very happy to have you tonight. And let's go right away to our lesson, great, if you're ready. Okay, so maybe let's get started with the warm-up. We'll move on to our session here. Okay, can you guys, let's start with a very simple warm-up. It's gonna be nice, great here. Let's see what you have in your mind. Let's get started with Rayane, great. Can you provide me a word that begins with the letter D?
Doctor.
Oh, well, can you use the word doctor in a statement, in a sentence?
If you are sick, you visit the doctor.
If you are sick, visit a doctor. Very nice. Good job. Okay, that's fine. Let's see, Ashraf. Great, you have here the word E. Can you think of a word that begins with the letter E?
Elephant.
Elephant. What would you say about the elephant? Give me a sentence using the word elephant.
The elephant is an animal.
The elephant is an animal. How can you describe this animal, the elephant? How can you
The elephant is big.
Great, big. We would say big or?
Giant.
Giant or fat. We also say fat, great. Someone who's fat, it means so, great, so big, right? Okay, that's fine, very good. Okay, so let's go right away to the lesson, maybe, great. Now, let me guys ask you, great, I'm gonna ask you to provide me with, some activities that you frequently do, great, during maybe the day or during the whole week. All right, so let's start with maybe number one here. Let's see what is the activity, great, maybe that you do, great, Rayane and Ashraf, great, that you 100% great that you do, great, frequently 100%, great. Yes.
Watching YouTube videos.
What is it, Ashraf? Yes.
Watching YouTube videos.
Watching YouTube videos, great. That's things that you do, great, you do, great, every time or every day, great. Okay, let's see, Rayane, yeah. Tell me about something that you do, great, every day, maybe, or every time, 100%.
Turn on the PC.
Turn on the computer every time you need to turn on the computer. All right, for me, Rayane, I use the computer every day, but because I don't have time to turn on the computer and keep waiting, so most of the time I just let my computer sleep, right? Okay, just sleep, right? And then, right, you got to wake up. Okay, quickly, great, yes. All right, very good. Okay, so let's take one of the examples here. For me, for instance, I'm always great. I mean, let's not jump right into the lesson that we have today. I pray, every day, every time, right? So I pray every day, great. Let's see here, praying. Okay, I hope, guys, that you do pray too. All right, so praying. Praying, guys?
Yes.
Okay, that's something that's I can assign, I can give it 100%. Great, very good. Now, let's move to another thing that you do, another activity that you do, but not 100%. It's almost 100%, but just like 80 to 90%. Yeah, give me something else that you do, not 100%, but just from 80 to 90%. Yeah. Almost every day, almost every time, but not great, you know, to...
I do homework.
All right, doing homework. Do you do homework mostly, Grace? Most of the time, constantly, continually?
Yes.
Okay, very nice. Doing homework. All right. What about Ashraf? Great. Let's see your suggestion. Something that you do from 80 to 19%. It's almost, you know, just like the first one, but a little bit less.
Reading my books.
Reading books?
No, my reading.
What? What do you read, Grace? Yes.
Reading my school books.
Ah, you mean school books. All right. If you say maybe, you know, extra books, I would say no, right? Not to that extent, Grace. Okay, because I know you very well. All right, very nice. Reading my school book, or as you know, Grace, Rayane say doing homework. Okay, that's it, Grace. For me, I would say watching TV, Grace. For me, watching TV, great. Watching TV or not necessarily watching TV, but let me say watching, guys, watching YouTube, right? YouTube, here we go, YouTube videos, guys. Okay, great. For me, what I watch, you know, YouTube videos a lot, right? But not every day, right? Maybe 1 day or 2 days I skip, right, doing that, right? Okay, that's fine. Let's see number 3. Now you tell me about something that you do from like 60 to 70%. 60 to 70%. It's always a lot. It's you know, right? It's also a lot, right? But not to that extent, just like the first.
Often.
What is it, Ryan? Yes?
Often.
All right, yeah, very nice. We'll come to that, right? Yeah, just give me an activity that you often do, right? I don't want to, you know, right? Okay, so make or just, I mean, introduce the you know, the adverbs from now. Yeah, what is this something that you often do, Ryan?
I play football with my friends.
Playing football, good, great. How about Ashraf? Great. Something that you do from 60, like from 60 to 70%. Whatever that comes into your mind. What? Tell me about something that you play maybe frequently or something that you do, right?
Playing with my brother.
Playing with your brother, great. Okay, nice. Okay, so most of you, great, maybe like to play, great, often play, great. So let's see here, playing. Okay, so playing what? Playing videos, great. No, not videos, great. Let's say playing games. Okay, playing games in general, right? Playing games. What about something that you do from, you know, great, that you do something that you know, from 40 to 50, that you do from 40 to 50%, right? Yeah. Not so much like the previous cases, right?
Take a nap.
Taking a nap, right? You take a nap. Do you take a nap? You know, just like, do you sometimes take a nap? Maybe, right? You never, right? I know you never take a nap. Do you sleep during the day, Rayane? Do you sleep during the day or just at night?
Sometimes I sleep the day in the weekend. I sleep.
Times. All right. Okay, let's do it. Great. Okay, taking a nap or sleeping. Great. Taking a nap. Great. Good. All right. Take a nap. Great. A nap is a short sleep, right, during the day. Okay. Number 5. Now, tell me about something that you do. Let's say from 5 to 10%, right? From 5 to 10%. Okay. Just 5 to 10%. Something that you rarely do.
I do housework.
Housework, right? Doing housework, right? What about Ashraf? Something that you really do, right? Hmm?
Cleaning my
What? Cleaning what, Ashraf?
cleaning the table.
Cleaning the table, all right. Okay, especially great when, after eating, great lunch or dinner, great. Yeah, that's fine. All right, so you almost, right, that's part of housework. All right, so let's go back to the idea that, Ryan said, great, which is doing housework. That's part cleaning, great. A table is part of housework, right? All right, so doing chores, great. Housework is also called chores, right? Doing chores, right? Let's call it, right, chores. Call them chores. Chores, it means housework, right? Okay, now let's move to number 6 here. Tell me about something that you never do. Something that you never do, 0%. You don't do at all. Okay.
I never traveled to another country.
Oh, I never travel to another country. How do we say, right, traveling to another country? We say traveling traveling
Away.
abroad, right? We don't say away, we say abroad, traveling abroad, right? Traveling abroad, right? Okay, good, right? Traveling abroad. Nice. Let's take an, very clearer example, right? For the situation. Guys, do you guys smoke? Do you smoke, guys?
No.
No,
No, we say no, right? Why don't you smoke, right? Why?
it's not good for health.
It's not good. It's not good for health. What if it's good for health? Are you going to smoke, Ashraf?
No,
It is good for health.
no.
Why again? Why not? That's not a good reason.
Because I don't want just to stay and take that on my hand.
You don't want to do that, right? Okay, let's see, Rayane, why don't you want to try a cigarette?
Because it makes you sick.
Because it makes you sick. So you have the same reason, just like Ashraf will say, because it's not good for health. Well, for me, because it's haram, right, in Islam. Forget about that. You have no idea about this, right? Smoking in Islam is haram. It's forbidden, right? And ulama, right? I mean, the whole ulama, the whole Muslim scholars in Islam, right, say that it's forbidden. Why? And the reason why it's forbidden, again, it's because it's not good for health, right? Because it deteriorates. It makes our health deteriorates through the time, right? Or it makes us, right, sick, and sometimes, right, we may get, suffer from certain diseases, get infected or affected by certain diseases and so on, that can lead to death. Right. All right, so let's say here smoke, and this is a good example, right? So 0%, right? 0% for smoking. Nice. Guys, now we have these activities: praying, watching YouTube from 80 to 90%, playing games, taking a nap, doing chores, and so on. I'm going to erase all these activities, and then we are going to change this percentage with one word in English. Let's start with number 1, praying. We pray every day, every time. So What's, you know, do you think is the right word to use, great, in English, great, to express that? We use one word.
Always.
What is it?
Always.
Always. Very good. Great. Yes. We say here always. Great. Say I always pray. Because I'm a Muslim, so I must pray, great, at least 5 times a day. Great. That's praying is one of the pillars of Islam. That's one of the pillars of Islam, right? إحدى الأركان الخمسة, right? So I pray every day, every time. So I always, great. Number 2, something that you do, not always, but, you know, from just like 80 to 90%. So I would say,
Usually.
very good, Ryan, right? You say usually, very nice, good. I usually pray, I usually watch YouTube videos, or I usually go to school, except just 1 or 2 days, right? That's a good example, right, to use usually, right? Now here, playing video games, 60 to 70%. It's not always, it's not usually, but it's, as you said, Ryan, before,
Often.
it's often, often. Your attention here to pronunciation. We don't pronounce T, right? We don't say often, we say often, often. Is it clear, Ryan?
Yes.
Good job, great. I often, you know, great, what do we write here? Play video games. I often play video games, good. Now, it means frequently, right? Something that you do frequently. Taking a nap, great. This is not something that's happening every time, but
Sometimes.
time. Good, great. We say
Sometimes.
sometimes. Good job, great. Here we say sometimes. Good. All right. I sometimes, you know, chat with my friends, you know, on the net, on Messenger or WhatsApp, right? I sometimes, great, you know, great, whatever I sometimes travel, right? You know, during the week, for instance, I sometimes travel. All right, very nice, good. Let's move to the next one, number 5, doing chores. Doing housework, right? So we got 5 to 10%. So what do you
Rarely.
think? Rarely, very good. Yes, we say rarely. نادرا أو قلما أفعل ذلك, right? Rarely. We can also say seldom. كلمة أخرى مشابهة, seldom. Maybe seldom can be just like 5%, right? أقل أقل قليلا قليلا, right? Just like seldom, just like 5%, and rarely, right, it's a little bit more, right, just like 10%, right? The next one is smoking. So which word is going to express this?
Never.
What?
Never.
Never. Very good. Yes. I say, do you smoke? You say never. I never smoke. Do you drink wine? No. Wine is forbidden in Islam, right? I never drink wine. Do you take drugs or something? No, right? That's, you know, forbidden in Islam, right? I never take drugs or do anything wrong or bad. Okay, so when there is something that is forbidden, or maybe something that you don't like, you don't do at all, I say at all, right? So we say here, we say never. Very good. Okay, these are, what do we call this in grammar, guys? What do we call them in grammar, in English grammar? These are called?
Adverbs of frequency.
Adverbs of frequency, very good. Yeah, these are adverbs of frequency, great. Today, we are going to discover not just this very common 6 or 7 adverbs of frequency, but there are many other synonyms, great? Other similar adverbs of frequency, right, that we are going to learn. And today we're going to discover this, you know, other frequency words together with you know, how or where exactly to use them in a sentence, right? Where should I put them? Should I put them after the subjects, before the verb, after the verb? So we are going to discover that right way and then do some practical tasks, you know, to understand the lesson very well. Here we go. Right. So can you see the screen, guys?
Yes.
Nice. Very good. Okay, here we go. So we got the common adverbs of frequency here. Okay, try to pay attention to the position to the position. When I say the position, it means the location, right? Or the adverb of frequency here. Number one, here I have I. This is subjects, or the personal pronoun here. It's a subjects. Good. الفاعل. And then we have right away, we have the adverb of frequency. We got here always. And then the continuity, the verbal phrase, or the continuity of the sentence here. Go to school, right? So what is go here? Go is what in grammar? Go is?
Verb.
The verb, right? This is a verb, right? So I always go, right? 100%, right?
Yes.
Usually watch. So usually here, 80–90% we see watch. Yes, good. He often surfs, you know, the net. Again, here we got just like 60–70%. She sometimes means from time to time, from a period to another period. We can also say periodically, right? We'll go on to discover more synonyms later. Okay, she sometimes plays video games. We rarely, just like 10%, listen to music. Or you can say you seldom revise a lesson, your lessons. Here, your attention, rarely out seldom, sometimes they are used interchangeably. أحيانا تستعمل بشكل تبادلي على أساس أنها عندها معنى يعني متكافئ بدون فرق, right? وإذا أردنا أن نفرق, right? Rarely, right, is more than seldom, right? In terms of frequency. And then we have here they. Okay, so we say they never smoke or take drugs. You know drugs, guys? Drugs?
Yes.
مخدرات, right? Drugs, ممنوعات, right? So these are things that are haram in Islam, right? They are forbidden, right? They are not, they are, you know, we are prohibited to do that, right? Okay, so we're not allowed to do that, right? As far as we are Muslims. Good. Now, your attention, these are simple declarative sentences. هذه جمل declarative, right? We'll come to see, right, the position of the phrase or these adverbs of frequency later on. Now, let us discover more synonyms of these adverbs of frequency. نكتشف مرادفات أخرى لهذه الأحوال هذه, right? We have here always. We can also say ممكن أيضا نقول constantly or continually, right? We say I continually go to school. I constantly go to school, right? It means I always, right? Usually, we can also say generally. ممكن أن نقول أيضا عامة, عامة, or normally. Normalement, right? Right? Not dima, but usually, right? Or generally speaking, right? Often we would say frequently, very good, or regularly. ولا بشكل منتظم, regularly, right? Okay, and then sometimes we can also say occasionally. It means from occasion to occasion. يعني من فرصة لفرصة, الفرصة والمناسبة نقول occasion or opportunity, right? Or from a period to another period. It means periodically. We can also say periodically, right? It means sometimes. Now, rarely or seldom, that means hardly ever. Example, I hardly ever play video games. قلما ألعب ألعاب video. I hardly ever play video games. Okay, and then we have a never. Never, it's a short form for not ever, right? If you'd like to, you know, deconstruct never, we would say not ever, right? Okay, now let's move on right now to the second point, right? We finished with the understanding the meaning, right? The understanding of the meaning of the words, of the adverbs. Now let's see how do we use, let's say, these adverbs in a sentence. What's the position of these adverbs in the structure of a statement in English? Now we have to determine, you know, let's distinguish between declarative sentences and interrogative sentences, right? نميز بين جمل الآن باش نشوفوا الموقع ديال هذه الكلمات فين كنحطهم في الجملة. إذا عندنا واحد جوج جمل أساسية. الجملة الأخرى النيجاتيف ماشي, right? It's like declarative, right? Not a very big difference. For declarative sentences, الجملة العادية اللي كتبدا بالاس في او. لذلك اللغة الإنجليزية تسمى SVO language. تبدأ بالفاعل subject and then verb and then object, ثم المفعول به إذا كان ضروري, إذا كان الفعل, right, transitive, if the verb is transitive. Now, let's see, right? We have here he always praise. He, what is it?
Subject.
It's the subject. Good. Now, always, this is the adverb
Adverb.
frequency. And then praise, this is the verb.
Verb.
ولا إذا هذه القاعدة العامة فيما يتعلق بموضع الverb frequency هذه الأحوال في الجملة. Right? موضعها ماذا؟ بين الفاعل والفعل. بين الفاعل والفعل. Okay? There is one exception. هنالك استثناء واحد. استثناء ماذا؟ متى يكون الاستثناء? When there is the exception. The exception is when you have an auxiliary. لما يكون عندي الفعل عبارة عن auxiliary. شنو لا auxiliary en anglais? The verb to be, the verb to do, the verb to have. Right? And we also have modal auxiliaries. وعندنا أيضا ما نسميه بمodal auxiliaries. Can, could, must, shall, should. will, would. هذو أيضا كتسمى modal auxiliaries يعني أفعال أو تلعب دور الأفعال المساعدة. Okay. ولكن نحفظ على الأقل هذه to be, the verb to be, is, are أو في الماضي was, were. To do in the present, to do, does. In the past we say did. Have or has in the past we say had. So when you have these modal auxiliaries ماذا أفعل لما يكون عندي الفعل عبارة عن فعل مساعد modal auxiliary? I start the sentence as usual with subjects. أبدأ الجملة كالعادة مع الفاعل. ثم مباشرة أسبق أولا right أو أتبع الفاعل بالفعل المساعد right auxiliary. And later في المرتبة الثالثة هذه المرة نضع الأدفيرب frequency. ثم إذا كان هنالك فعل آخر أساسي أضعه بعد ذلك right. Okay, so that's it, or subject complement. Good job. Now, example, we have she is. إذا عندنا subject أولا ثم مباشرة سبقنا ال adverb frequency, right? سبقنا the auxiliary, right? اللي هو the verb to be here. She is, and then often مرتبة الثالثة, right? The adverb frequency. She is often sick. هي عادة مريضة, right? They don't usually travel. I have, right? Sometimes being right described as generous, whatever, right? Okay, well, they had the first point here for declarative sentences.
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Now, let's move to the questions. الأسئلة أو نسميها أيضا interrogative statements, right? أو جمل استفهامية. So for questions, we mostly start with an auxiliary. عادة السؤال نبدأ بفعل مساعد. نقول do you do. نبدأ بفعل مساعد to do. Do you have, do you speak English? Right? Are you sometimes, hungry? Are you hungry? Are you sick? إذن are the verb to be. Have you eaten your breakfast? Have عبارة عن auxiliary. إذن السؤال عادة الذي يقتضي نعم أو لا سؤال يبدأ بالauxiliary, right? فإذا, right, if I want to integrate the auxiliary, the adverbial frequency, إذا أردت إدراج الحال أو the adverbial frequency, we have to start first of all our question with the auxiliary, and then the subject. We have the auxiliary.
Adverb frequency.
And this is the auxiliary, and then the subjects. We have here you. And then number 3, adverb frequency. Here we have always, sometimes, often, and then the continuity of the statement. ثم تتمة الجملة. تتمة ممكن تكون فعل آخر، ممكن تكون right, maybe ممكن تكون فعلا أو تكون يعني right, the subject complement يعني استكمال للفاعل right, كما أو للجملة عامة. As we have here, are you sometimes dizzy, right? أحيانا, right? Are you sometimes dizzy? Okay, now if it's clear, guys, let's move on to practice, and we'll start with very simple task like this, right? And see, right, how well you can do, right? Well, we have here, let's start. We need to rewrite the sentence using, right, the adverb of frequency between parentheses in the correct position or location. I'm gonna give one of you, great, to answer the chance to answer number 1, and then give it to the other student, great, the chance to answer the the statement, to deal with the statement, the next statement. Let's start with number 1 here. They go to the movies. We have here often. Let's start with Rayane. They go to the movies, great.
They often go to the movies.
Very good, guys. So we got here they, this is the subjects, and often, right, in opposition number 2, right? Because here we have a declarative sentence, great, very good. They often, great, go to the movies, great, very good. Let's make this exercise, all right, zoom a little bit. Nice. Number 2, great, Ashraf. We have here, she listens to classical music. We have here rarely.
She rarely listens to classics music.
Very good. Classical music or classic music. Very good. Yeah, she rarely. Great. Good. Number 3, he is in a hurry. Usually.
He is usually in a hurry.
Correct. Very good, Ryan. Your attention here. We have here is, which is the verb to be. As I said before, كما قلت من قبل, إذا كان عندي auxiliary, the verb to be is are. The verb to do or the verb to have, we need to put the adverb of frequency in the third position, يعني في الموضع الثالث. Right. All right, see here, he is, guys. Yes, he is usually in a hurry. Great. He is usually, great, in a hurry. Okay, your turn, Ashraf. He reads the local newspaper. You have here sometimes.
He reads he sometimes.
Yeah. A guy here.
He reads the local newspaper sometimes.
طبق القاعدة يا أشرف. Great.
He reads sometimes the local newspaper.
هل هذه القاعدة؟ لماذا الريد هذا فعل عادي ليس بauxiliary. انظر إلى ما سبق. They go to the movies. They often go to the movies.
He sometimes reads the local newspaper.
Now it's clear, it's very nice. لا أجتهد، ما نبقاش نجتهد وفقا right. Right. دعني أطبق ما تعلمت من قواعد. Right. القاعدة هي إذا كانت عندي جملة عادية وفعل عادي ليس بفعل مساعد، إذا موضع الادفيرب frequency يكون بين subjects ثم مباشرة في المرحلة الثانية، المرتبة الثانية. Right. The adverb of frequency. He, right, sometimes reads. Right. إذا right على خلاف إذا كان عندي adverb of frequency. على خلاف إذا كان عندي auxiliary. إذا كان الأوكسيليار عندي الادفيرب of frequency في المرتبة الثالثة. عندي فعل عادي إذا أضع الادفيرب of frequency في المرتبة الثانية. Right. Okay, let's move to number 5. Sarah smiles. You got never.
Sarah never smiled.
Very nice, great, Ryan. Yeah, Sarah never smiles. Great. Do you always? How often do you smile, great, Ryan? How often do you smile?
I usually smile.
I usually smile. هذا جميل. Great. إذا قلت نعم I always smile الأمر فيها إن خصنا نشوفوا الطبيب اللي قال لي أنا دائما أبتسم خصنا نشوف الطبيب. لابد الإنسان مزاجه يتقلب. Great. بين فرحة وعبوس. Great. Great. والأحسن طبعا المطلوب الإنسان يكون فيه عادة يبتسم. Great. عادة يبتسم. وهذا من وصايا الرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم أيضا. Great. والابتسامة في وجه أخيك صدقة، يعني ومن الصدقات أيضا قوله وأن تلقى أخاك بوجه طلق أو طليق. Great. Good. Number 6. Children are passionate about games. Your attention, يا أشرف.
Children are constantly passionate about games.
Very nice. الآن صح أحسنت. Great. Because we have the verb to be. إذن great constantly ولا always ولا كذا great في المرتبة الثالثة. Very good. Yes. Here we go. Children are constantly, yes, great. Passionate, great. Are constantly passionate about. Constantly تعني ماذا? What does it mean constantly? هذه مرادف لإحدى الadverbs of frequency that we have seen. Constantly, it means, what is it? What does constantly mean? Are you sleepy, guys? What's wrong with you, right? Constantly, what does it mean? You have it, right, on the screen.
Always.
Always great. Okay. إذا رأينا مصطلحات أخرى. الشيء ضروري تعلمه. ربما كنتوا سمعتوا أكيد سمعتوا always usually هذا الشيء كامل سمعتوا شي شوية never ولكن ضروري خصني نزيد عليها شي حاجة إذا كلمات جديدة على الأقل. Constantly, right? I constantly, I continually, right? Usually, I generally, normally, often, frequently, regularly, sometimes, occasionally, periodically, right? Hardly ever. And not ever, right? Okay, so these are things that you need to use, right? All right, good. Now, very nice. Number 7, she helps her daughter with her homework. It's your turn, Rayane.
She never helps her daughter with her homework.
Very good. Yeah, she never helps her daughter with her homework. Number 8, I don't watch.
I always don't watch cartoons.
What is it?
I always don't watch.
القاعدة يا أشرف. إذا كان عنده auxiliary فموضع
I don't.
في المرتبة الثالثة.
I don't.
نعم.
I don't always watch cartoons.
I don't always watch cartoons. جيد, great. إذا نطبق القاعدة, great. To be ولا to do هذا فعل to do. This is an auxiliary, great. إذا great adverbial frequency في المرتبة التالية, great. I don't, great. I don't always watch cartoons, great. Okay, how often do you watch cartoons, great, Ashraf?
I stopped to watch cartoons.
You stopped watching cartoons? Really?
Yes.
Alors إذا ماذا نستعملها هنا, great? Which one is the right one?
I never watch cartoons.
I never watch them, great, anymore. Great, yeah, very nice, good. How about Rayane? Do you still watch cartoons, and how often?
I sometimes watch cartoon with my sister.
I sometimes watch cartoon, great. I think Ashraf also sometimes watches cartoons, great. I don't know, great. But maybe say he has decided maybe not to watch them anymore, great. Well, very nice, good. Okay, now you finish. This is just an exercise. Let's move on to do this test, right? We have this test here from, okay. Right, this test from British Council. We are going to take this test and then have some questions for communication and production and call it a day, right? Now, guys, let's start with number 1. You have it. This is a test. You got the test is out of 10. We got 10 questions or statements, and we got you know, number 1, the task number 1 to choose the correct sentence, guys. Give me just 1 second to respond to one of my students. Grace may be waiting. Okay. The question number 1 is read the sentences and underline the correct one. I mean, you got to be careful and pay attention to the corrects. Pay attention to the corrects. To the corrects. Great statements here. Okay, number 1. And we got to spot the mistake first. Where is the mistake here? Where is the correct, not the mistake, but where is the correct, statement among these choices? We got here, A, I go always to the park at the weekend. I always go to the park at the weekend.
Second.
I go to the park at the weekend. Let's start maybe with Ryan, yes, and then B is going to be for Ashraf. Yes, what do you think?
The second.
The second is the correct one.
Yes.
Okay, that's correct. I always go. All right. Subjects, adverb, and then verb. That's good. Very nice. That's correct. Yeah, very good. Let's see. Ashraf writes B. I watch sometimes cartoons on TV. I sometimes watch cartoons on TV. I sometimes number 2 انتبه number 2 guys. Number 2, I sometimes watch cartoons on TV. I sometimes watch cartoons on TV. Which one is correct?
I sometimes watch. Wait.
You have to be careful.
I sometimes watch cartoon on the TV.
1, 2, or 3. Which number is that? Is it number 1 or number 2 or number 3?
Number 1.
Number 1? What are you saying? أعد ما قلت يا أشرف.
Number 3. I sometimes watch
Okay, so try to be careful, right? Be careful, Ashraf. Right. I sometimes watch cartoons on TV. You said it correctly, right? أجبت إجابة صحيحة ثم رجعت الحالة الأولى. Right. Now, very good. Yeah, we got to the I. That's the subjects first. Number 2, the adverb sometimes. Not sometime. Look at number 2. This is the problem here with number 2. Sometime. No, we don't have sometime here. We should have sometimes with S at the end, right? Okay, let's go to Uthman again. My sister doesn't usually play football after dinner. My sister doesn't usually play football after dinner, and my sister doesn't play usually football after dinner. Which one do you think is the right one?
I think the second.
Number 2, my sister doesn't usually play. Very good, correct. Okay. Then we got here an adverb of we have auxiliary and auxiliary and auxiliary. So we have my sister. This is what? My sister.
Objects.
Objects. And then we have doesn't. This is the auxiliary. And then usually this is the adverb. And then this is a verb and so on, right? Okay, let's move to D. My best friend never says that.
First one.
My best friend says never.
Number 1.
Okay, number 1. You already read them, right? Okay, very nice. My best friend, this is subjects, my best friend. Never, right? So we should have the adverb and then says it's okay. Very nice, good. Let's go back to Rayane. My teacher always gives us homework. My teacher always gives us homework, or my teacher gives us always homework.
The first one.
First one is the right one, correct, very good. Okay, excellent job. Now let's move on to, right, all right, let's move on to the next one, right? The next task right now is find the mistake. It's here where we have to spot the mistake and then rewrite the sentence in the correct way. Let's start with the letter A. We have to find the mistake here, Ashraf. We have here, I always am helpful at home. What is the correct form of the sentence and where is the mistake here? I always am helpful.
I am always helpful at home.
Very good, excellent job, right? I am, we should say I am always, not I'm always, right? So it's a mistake has to do with the word order, right? إذا هنا الأمر يتعلق بما نسميه word order، يعني خطأ في ترتيب الكلمات ترتيب صحيح word order، وهذا خطأ في القواعد لابد من تفاديه، right? So let's see that the correct, let's first of all mark the problem here. The problem is with and always, right? The word order, right? Okay, so here we go. So we see here, I am always, great. I am always great, helpful at home. I am always helpful at home. What does it mean, helpful, guys? Helpful.
You help others at home.
A little or a lot? You help them just a little or a lot?
A lot.
A lot. Very nice. Good. Helpful, you know, this is to describe, this is an adjective to describe a person who helps people a lot. إنسان مساعد، إنسان كيساعد الناس بزاف، right? كيساعد بزاف، كينفع، كيعاون كما كنقولوا، right? We say helpful, right? Are you helpful, Rayane, at home?
I don't know.
Do you help? I mean, do you help mommy? Do you clean up, right? Your room? Do you clean the table? Do you set the table, right? Or just a little?
I am often helpful at home.
Often, great. Not always, great. Yes. What about Ashraf, great? Are you helpful at home? Never.
I'm
Uh-huh.
usually helpful at home.
Usually helpful, right? Okay, yes. I mean, when we say helpful, you know, when daddy or mommy says to do something, right? Ashraf, please, or Ryan, please, can you go and buy something from the shop? You say, okay, mommy. So you are helpful. If daddy says, Ryan, Ashraf, would you please bring me a drink? And if you say, okay, it means that you are helpful. All right, that's when you obey your parents. That's, you know, part of being helpful, right? Very good. Okay, now let's move to number 2, and it's gonna be for Ryan, right? They go sometimes to the cinema. Where is the mistake here?
They sometimes go to the cinema.
Very good. So it's a question of word order again, right? Say here, they sometimes, here we go, sometimes go to the cinema, right? Cinema, right? Okay, that's fine. Have you ever visited a cinema, right, Ryan?
One time in my life.
Once.
Once in my, yes.
Okay, it's good, right, to know this, guys. So we have here, we are talking about frequency. These are not only words to that expresses frequency. ماشي هادو هما الكلمات اللي تعلمنا اليوم، ماشي هما ديما الكلمات الوحيدة اللي كنستعملوها just for frequency. كاين بزاف الكلمات أخرين. إلا قلت لك شحال من مرة كدير واحد الحاجة، right? If it is إذا كانت مرة واحدة.
Once.
Right? If it's just one time, we say once, right? إذا كنت أفعل الشيء مرة واحدة, we say once. And the question, of course, we say how often. ما نسويش هذه la question التي سألتكم أكثر من مرة. How often do you? هذا هو السؤال الأساسي الخاص بالفريكونسي. هذا often ما تديوش عليها، ما كتعنيش زعما كذا, right? No, هذا often غير ça veut dire, right, how many times, right? Ça veut dire how many times, or to what extent, ولا إلى أي حد, right? To what extent, right, do you do this, right? How often do you watch TV? How often do you go to school? If it's just one time, I say once, مرة واحدة, نقول once, right? إذا كان مرتين we say twice. أحسن، تمام، نقول twice, right? غير مألوف أن نقول 2 times. هي جائزة في القواعد، يعني في التواصل العام ممكن تسمع شخص يقول 2 times، ولكن الأفضل والأصح, right, is we say twice. ما فوق هذا 3 مرات، 40 مرة، 15 مرة كذا، كنديروا العدد وكنديروا times تعني مرات، 3 times 4 times وهكذا. Is it clear?
Yes.
Very nice, good. Let's go back to our test and continue, right? So that we can, right, finish in due time. All right, so now it's your turn, Ashraf, maybe. Is usually your teacher nice? This is a question. Is usually your teacher nice?
Is your teacher usually nice?
Very good. It's a question of order. إذا في الكيستيون الأسئلة كما رأينا كيف نصيغ السؤال؟ بنية السؤال the structure. نبدأ بالauxiliary دائما في السؤال auxiliary. ثم ماذا؟ The subjects. Is your teacher? Is أحمد? Are you? دائما the subjects في المرتبة الثانية. And then تكملة الجملة, right? The adverb عفوا, adverb of frequency ثم تكملة الجملة, right? Very good. So we see here, is your teacher. Is your teacher. There we go. Usually, is your teacher usually nice, right? Okay. Is your teacher usually nice? Here, D, Ryan, my cousin eats never broccoli.
My cousin never eats broccoli.
Okay, so we got to start with never and then, great, and then eats. Great, good. Okay, here we go. My cousin never eats, great, broccoli. Great, here we go. That's fine. Good job. Next one we have, do you visit usually Learn English Kids? Learn English Kids, this is just the name of a channel. So consider it as one word, guys. This is the name of a YouTube channel, right? You know, for kids, right? Okay, so what do you think here? What do you say? Do you visit usually?
Do you
Mm-hmm.
you usually visit
again أعيد من المرة عايدة اسمعني مزيان yeah come on repeat.
you usually visit
Yes.
Learn English Kids.
Very good. دائما do auxiliary do ولا to be ولا to have plus the subject دائما you هو الفاعل هون, right? Plus the subject do you ثم adverb of frequency. Great, here we go. Do you usually, great, visit, right? Learn, great, let's say Learn English Kids. Let's make it this way, guys, just to save time. Okay, that's it. Great. Okay, very good. You've done a good job, guys. Okay, let's do and score. Great. Put the you know the scores for you, great. Let's use a red pen. So here it's correct. Very good. It's correct too here. And then a good job here too. That's fair. 1 point and 1 more point. So you got here the total here is 5 points. Great. 5 out of 5. And here again, you have 1 more point here. 1 point, 1 point, correct, 1 point, correct. So which means here, okay, so you got here 5 out of 5. And again, here is 5 out of 5. So the, you know, the total is 10 out of 10. Very nice. I'll give you guys an A+, great. And you've done an awesome job. Great, very nice, good job. Okay, we've come to the end of this session, but before you go, I'm going to challenge you, right? I would like you to provide and produce sentences using all the basic 6 adverbs of frequency that we learned today. Let's start with always here. And right, each one of you is going to give me a sentence. Tell me, guys, what is the things that you always do, right? Tell me about one thing that you always do. Yes. Let's start with maybe Ryan. Yes.
I always turn on my PC.
I always turn on my computer. Great, very good. What about Ashraf?
I always watch YouTube videos.
I always watch the YouTube videos. Good. Here we go. For me, I always pray. Very nice. Good. Let's go back to Ryan. Tell me about something that you usually do.
I usually open my desktop
Very nice. What about Ashraf?
case.
I usually do my homeworks.
Usually do my homework. For me, I usually teach online. I usually teach online, English online. Very nice. How about things that you often do?
I often play football.
Very good, Ashraf.
I often play with my brother.
What do you play with your brother? Or you just play in general?
Play games.
All right, games together. Very nice. Great. I often, great. I often surf in the net. I often surf in the net. Great. Well, let's go back to Rayane. Do you remember about something that you do from time to time? That you sometimes do.
I sometimes go to the supermarkets.
I sometimes go shopping, right, in the supermarkets. Very good, right. Okay, what about Ashraf? Something that you sometimes do.
I sometimes clean my desk.
I sometimes clean my desk. Okay, that's fine, right? Or you organize your desk. Very good. For me, I sometimes travel to Rabat. Very good. Now, let's go again to great rarely. Great. Tell me something that you rarely do, Ryan.
I rarely change my desktop pieces.
Pieces. Okay, very nice. I rarely, great, change, great, or replace my desktop pieces. Very good. Okay, what about Ashraf?
I rarely uh, I rarely watch cartoons.
Okay, on TV. I rarely watch cartoons on TV. Nice, good. So you rarely watch TV, cartoons on TV, not never, right? Right? Okay, maybe you changed your mind, right? Well, for me, great, I rarely watch football matches on TV. Great, very good. Now, what is the thing that you never do, Ryan?
I never traveled to another country.
I never travel abroad. I never travel abroad. Very good. Yeah, you have here this word, Ryan. It's good to learn this word, right? Instead of seeing to another country, you know, you would say, right, you'd better say abroad, right? Abroad, خارج, right? Or overseas. Sometimes you may say overseas. I never travel overseas. على برا البحر guys, or I never travel abroad. Very good, yes. There we go. Okay, very nice. What about Ashraf? What is the thing that you never do?
I never go to somewhere by plane.
I never do?
I never go to somewhere by plane.
By plane.
Yes.
So let's make our statements clear, right, and simple. I never
travel by plane.
I never travel by plane. Now the statement is very, very nice. Good. You've done a good job, guys. Well, how do you feel, Rayane, about the lesson? Is it well understood? How much percent are you going to, you know, to give to the class in terms of your understanding of the lesson? Is it 100%, right? 80, 90, 20, 100%? Is it well understood?
99.99999%.
99.992%. I'll come back to ask you about that 0.1% that you didn't understand. Right? You need to explain to me what is it, right? What about Ashraf? Right? How much percent did you understand the lesson?
100%.
Well understood. Okay, that's fine. Let's go back to Ryan. Right? Tell me about that 0.01% that you didn't get.
It's just a joke.
It's a joke. That's fine. You deserve a golden star, right, Ryan, guys, for you. And this is for Ashraf. So very good. You've done a good job, guys. Now it's the time to call it a day and see you next time in another episode. Goodbye.
Goodbye.